Hello students, in the last lecture we have studied Coulomb's law in vector form. Today we will see the numerical related to Coulomb's law in vector form. The question is, two charges 2 microcoulomb and 3 microcoulomb have a position vector 122 meter and 102 meter respectively. Find the force acting on 3 microcoulomb due to 2 microcoulomb. Now the first step is we will assign the symbols for the charges. So let us take Q1 to be 2 microcoulomb, which can be written as 2 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulomb, and its position vector is denoted by R1, which is 122 meter. Similarly, Q2 is 3 microcoulomb, which can be written as 3 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulomb, and R2 is 102 meter. Now, if you see the question, you have to find out the force acting on 3 microcoulomb, and the symbol denoted to 3 microcoulomb is Q2. So according to Coulomb's law, we know this, that we need to find out the force on 2 due to 1. Q3 पे force ढूंढना है. So Q3 microcoulomb is denoted by Q2. So F21 is equal to K Q1 Q2. अब कैसे पोजीशन वेक्टर्स लिखने हैं? 2 पे फोर्स ढूंढना है. So R2 minus R1 and its magnitude is R2 minus R1 mod का cube. This is our equation number 1. So from equation 1, first we need to find out R2 minus R1 as well as its magnitude. Now R2 minus R1, that is equal to 102 minus 122, that is equal to, so x coordinate subtracted with x, y with y, z with z, 1 minus 1, 0, 0 minus 2, minus 2, 2 minus 2, 0 meter. So let us assign it as equation number 2. Now we need to find out its magnitude. So mod of R2 minus R1 is equal to under root. Now the magnitude becomes very easy because we have two coordinates to be 0. So it will be 0 square plus minus 2 square plus 0 square, which comes out to be 2 meter. Let us name this as equation 3. So now the steps are very simple. You substitute equation 2 and 3 in equation number 1. Therefore, F21 is equal to K value, that is 9 into 10 raised to 9, Q1 2 into 10 raised to minus 3 into 3 into 10 raised to minus 6, sorry, microcoulomb is given, minus 6, coordinates, that is 0, minus 2, 0, divided by the magnitude cube. So the cube of 2, that is 8. So this is equal to 9 2s are 18, 18 3s are 54. 54 divided by 8, you will get 6.75 into 10 raised to 9 minus 6, 3, 3 minus 6 minus 3, coordinates are 0, minus 2, 0, F21. So you can stop your answer here also. If needed, we can proceed further also. The unit of force is written as Newton. You can also take this 6.75 within the bracket. So if we take that, F21 is equal to 6.75 multiplied by 0, that is 0, 6.75 multiplied by minus 2, that is minus 13.5, and z coordinate is 0 into 10 raised to minus 3 Newton. So this is the force acting on Q2 due to Q1. Now moving one step forward, we can also find out its magnitude. This is clearly the force acting is along the negative y-axis. Now we can also find out the magnitude of F21. So mod of F21 is equal to under root. It is very again easy because two coordinates are 0. Otherwise, we need to find out the entire magnitudes. So 0 square plus minus 13.5 square plus 0 square, 10 raised to minus 3 is common. So the square under root, the square of 13.5. So magnitude, which is always positive, is 13.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 Newton. So we can say the resultant force acting on it, we are acting on 3 microcoulomb, is 13.5 into 10 raised to minus 3 Newton, and from this form you can say the direction is along the negative y-axis. So this is the advantage of a Coulomb's law in vector form. It will give you the magnitude as well as the direction in which the force is acting on a charge. So this is how the Coulomb's law in vector form can be implemented to the numerical easily. Now let us move to another topic, which is superposition principle. So superposition principle, or sometimes a superposition theorem also. Now what is a superposition principle? Before we discuss about this, let us revise a Coulomb's law in vector form. While doing the Coulomb's law in vector form, we have taken the two charges in the system, and the force acting on a particular charge was one only. If we take two charge, the force acting on one due to 2 will be F12, and similarly the force acting on 2 due to 1 was denoted by F21. But what happens if in a system there are more than two charges? So if for example, suppose I take 3 charge, say Q1, Q2, Q3. So now on Q1 there will be two forces acting on it. One will be the force on 1 due to 2, force on 1 due to 3. Similarly, if I have in a system 4 charges, so 3 forces will act on Q1. So if there are more than, if there are 2 or more than 2 forces acting on a particular charges, we have to go for a superposition principle. So we will apply this superposition principle for a system of charges. Now, how the statement is given? Now, what the superposition principle says: when 2 or more than 2 forces act on a charge, then the resultant force acting on a charge is the vector sum of individual forces acting on it. Now what does it mean? On a particular charge, there are 2 or more than 2 forces. These 2 forces are the Coulombian or electric force. Then the resultant force acting on a charge is the vector sum. Why we need to say a vector sum? Because the direction of the force acting on 1 due to 2 and the direction of force acting on 1 due to 3 or 4 is different. So you cannot simply add the forces because the directions are different. So we need to find out its vector sum. Now let us see how this principle can be applied to a system of charges. So we take a system of charge. There are n charges in a system. So let us define this as a Cartesian coordinate system. Suppose this is Q1. So as explained earlier, its position vector is R1. This is Q2. Its position vector is R2. This is Q3. Its position vector is R3. And we have this as Qn. its position vector is Rn. So we have taken n charges in a system. Now I need to find out the force on any one particular charge. Let us take an example that we need to find out the force on 2. So there will be the force acting on 2 due to 1. So joining this force, we know how to write the direction. We take all the charges to be positive, so there is a force of repulsion. So this is force acting on 2 due to 1. Similarly, joining the line from 3 to Q, this will be the force acting on 2 due to 3. You can clearly see the direction of 2, 1 and 2, 3 are different, so we need to take the vectors. Similarly, I join n charge to the 2. It is force on 2 due to nth charge. So this is how the directions comes out to be different. So we will take the vector sum. So let F21 is equal to force acting on Q2 due to Q1. We define the symbols. F23 is the force acting on Q2 due to Q3. A force cannot apply the force on itself. So 1, then 3. Dash, dash, dash. F2n, that is force acting on Q2 due to nth charge, which is Qn. So this is the notations or the symbol. Now we need to find out the resultant force on 2. So I will write the equation force acting on 2. So F2 will be read as the resultant force acting on the charge Q2. So let us see what will be the resultant force acting on this charge. So the resultant force is F21 plus F23 plus dash 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 F2n. So this is the resultant force acting on second charge. We will do many numericals related to the superposition principle. Now simply apply the Coulomb's law in vector form. So F21 K Q1 Q2 किस पे फोर्स ढूंढ रहे हैं 2 पे, तो R2 माइनस R1 उसका मैग्नीट्यूड, R2 माइनस R1 का उसका क्यूब प्लस K23, सो Q2 Q3 फोर्स R2 पे, तो R2 माइनस R3 डिवाइडेड बाय R2 माइनस R3 मोड का क्यूब। सिमिलरली डैश 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 प्लस किस पे फोर्स ढूंढना है 2n पे ढूंढना है, सो अगेन K Q2 Qn R2 माइनस Rn मोड का क्यूब। So what you are doing, you are simply applying the Coulomb's law for all the individual forces. तो हम Coulomb's law लगा रहे हैं इंडिविजुअल फोर्सेस में और उनका वेक्टर सम ढूंढने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। So it will be more understood if we do the numericals, and we will do the numericals based on the superposition principles in the next lecture. Now, if you see this equation, KQ2 is common. So the resultant force on 2 can be written as KQ2. It is summations only. So we put a summation sign. So summation sign Q1 R2 minus R1, R2 minus R1 का मोड का क्यूब। अब यहाँ पे when I put a summation sign, I assign I value to the two number of charges, or sorry, I assign I value to all the variables. What are the variables? Q1, Q3, dash 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 Qn. So summation sign and instead of this I write I, Qi, R2 minus Ri, and R2 minus Ri का Q. I omitted one step. You can easily see KQ2 is common to all this. Now what are the variables? R1, R3, R4, R5, dash, 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 Rn. I assign that variable that I symbol. So I put a summation sign and I is running from 1 to n. If there are n charges, so if I substitute I1, so R2 minus R1, then plus sign. I cannot be equal to 2 because the force cannot be exerted on itself. So the condition is I is not equal to 2. I is not equal to 2. So I is equal to 1 first we have taken. You cannot take 2 because you are finding the force on 2. Then I is equal to 3. So R2 minus R3. I is equal to 4. R2 minus. So if you substitute the value of I from 1 to n except 2, you will get this summation. So this is the resultant force acting on Q2 charge using the superposition principle. Now this was an example. You have found the force on 2. You may also found the force. You can also find the force on Q1, Q3, any charge of the system. So in general, I assign 2 also a symbol J. So in general, if I say find the force acting on jth particle या jth charge, let us name the charge as J. तो अभी 2 पे ढूंढा है, अब क्वेश्चन है कि किसी पे भी ढूंढ सकते हैं. तो अब ये जो 2 है उसका नाम क्या कर दे J. So I will write Fj vector. अब इसको कैसे पढ़ूंगा? The resultant force acting on jth charge K, अब समेशन साइन क्योंकि n है, K Qi जो था हमारे पास, अब 2 की जगह J लिखते हैं, Qj. किस पे फोर्स ढूंढ रहे हो? J पे. तो Rj माइनस Ri मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ Rj माइनस Ri का क्यूब. अब कंडीशन देख लें. I is running from 1 to n. तो I is running from 1 to n जैसे लिखा था. I is not equal to 2. 2 की जगह भी J है. So I is not equal to J because कोई भी चार्ज अपने ऊपर फोर्स नहीं लगा सकता. So this is the general formula for a superposition principle. In this, you are finding the force on J. Now if I say there are 4 particles, find the force on 3. So you start I from 1. J 4 पे ढूंढ रहे हो तो R4 हो गया suppose. Then I is equal to 2. तो Ri2. 4 पे ढूंढ रहे हो तो R4. तो F4 is equal to K Q1 Q4 R4 minus R1 ताकि नीचे मोड का Q. Then I is equal to 2. तो K Q2 Q4 R4 minus R2. Then I is equal to 3. Q3 Q4 R4 minus R1. Now 4 cannot apply the force on itself, so it will stop here. So if there are n particles, this is the general formula for a superposition principle. And in the next lecture, we will see how to implement this formula as we implemented today the Coulomb's law in vector form. Similarly, we have many numericals related to it. So we end our lecture today with this topic. Have a good day.